Hello, Kingston. Welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. Today we have a historical battle, the Battle of Thabor. This one was fought during the Egyptian campaign. This one, of course, was also sent in by Abulero, who I believe had a lot of opportunity to work on this map, even may have designed it himself. But actually, I did not know a whole lot about this battle. Not super apt, super well versed in the Egyptian campaign, but this was basically it wasn't insubordination from France, but it was during the siege of Acre that Napoleon was besieging Acre and was concerned about a reinforcing Ottoman army that was hovering behind him, and I think his name was Kleber. He saw an opportunity to make a name for himself. He was doing some scouting and saw the army, so he marched out with a 2,000 men, his division, in hopes of having a night raid on the Ottoman camp. Unfortunately, though, he showed up in the morning. So as the Ottomans were waking up, he was like, well, I'm here. So I think the Ottomans had around like 10,000 men and like 25,000 cav. And he just formed himself into two squares and held. Honestly, things looked like they were about to be a repeat of the Crusades. And just, the sun and no water, no food, and their ammunition was running out. But then Napoleon showed up with about 2,000 men himself. And Napoleon formed some squares, fired the Ottomans' camp, causing some mass confusion. And then Kleber and Napoleon both charged the Ottomans, causing some panic. But of course, as a recreation, not going to obviously have the same type of things. As you can see, there are 3 French armies, so they're definitely outnumbered for historical purposes, versus 4 Ottoman armies. You can already see France showing up here on the side here. They have, looks like some Mamelukes, and some, I don't know what those are. Something I wish they would do is just make this transparent. If you're gonna make it so we can't see anything, just make it transparent. Line infantry also coming into the field. This actually looks like a really fun map. Very lush and green for being in the Israel area, or ancient Israel area. I thought it'd be more deserty, but there's a river here, so over on this side there was a guerrilla artillery piece that was out in front. They are going to, of course, be trying to hold Mount Thabor. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. I tried to find a correct pronunciation, and after 5 or 10 minutes I decided I had enough and I wanted to just watch the replay. So Cav being kind of aggressive here. Let's see, what do they got here? Artillery firing as well, and they are rushing forward here, trying to get very aggressive. Oh, the howitzers. Ooh, got some kills there. Howitzers have definitely been made more potent in this version of the game. Surprises Cap isn't trying to, what do they got over here? They got Dragoons and Chasseurs Cheval. Their other light cav is running away. And, yeah, Ottomans are going to fall back. So, like I said, there are 3 armies, and they are actually kind of spread out. There's one French army way over here against one Ottoman army, I think, but another Ottoman army seems to be marching to reinforce. So there's 2v1 on this side. They are marching out into the fields here. They seem very okay with going out on their own. This is a unit that can form square. It's huge. Sappers in the back. At least I know this faction well enough to know these are a bunch of like cheap sappers, like 8 gold each. You can bring a ton of them. But the heights aren't really controlled by anyone here, as you can see. Just light infantry pushing up, cavalry in the front for the Ottomans. They do have some heavies, I do believe. Where are they at? Maybe not. But, yeah, just a lot of scouting, a lot of, artillery's firing. As the French are trying to push across this river, I think the other army is going to be pushing through here. Like I said, they may separate themselves, which would be a huge disadvantage because there are 4 versus 3. You want to stick together, maybe. Or do you?
Sir, our general is under attack.
So a huge, massive cav pushing over. France definitely is going to have to use their cav very defensively. They just can't afford... they can't afford to not. Oh, someone shot. Oh, these are melee capable. Yeah, look at these guys. They're not melee capable. Obviously, cav's melee. They're range capable. And they're probably going to pour another volley here. Get close and pour another volley. I know they're going to get themselves out of there. Smoke is drifting away as now they're going to push up their line infantry. It is a lot of fun to be France. It's small but very nice units. Oh, do we have some cavalry here? Yes, we do. We have some cav charging the guns that... Oh no, their guns are totally and utterly left out. So now this light cav is just going to charge them. These guys are going to die. And France will lose a gun. Very unfortunate. France is... You got to be very careful. Although this French army is way out here. I mean, they are not far back. Their general is... But their army looks like they are pushing up here. So they're routing these cav units. These chasseurs cheval, I do believe, are going to take out maybe 2 Ottoman... Yeah, 2 Ottoman cav units. So you can see the quality of the French is better. But they don't have a lot of it. So every fight is a huge disaster, possibly. They're going to get some men to fire. They're going to get their cav out of there. Lots and lots of Mameluke cav. Ottoman cav. Lancers here. You have... Okay, skirmishers, I believe, as well. Yep. We have skirmishers. I hear a roll of musket fire. Where's that? Okay, it's over here. France seems to be pushing out here, but the Ottomans seem to be focusing all right here. So, France... They're being a little slow to advance. That may be a bad sign. Be a bad thing for their allies if they are not faster at getting to their allies, who are going to get just surrounded by all of these Ottoman armies. I guess you could say they are the Napoleon of this battle. The one to come and reinforce a desperately under-populated, under-reinforced army of French. A lot of skirms pushing up here. These guys are going to get some good kills here. We do have artillery forming up here. This will be a problem for the Mamelukes if this artillery does get to set up. Oh, goodness. Already firing at the French. I'm surprised the French are trying to be a little more defensive. Almost like Janissaries. But in this fight, guys, so long as the Ottomans keep them morale up, they actually will do very well. I have full confidence that the Ottomans can beat the French in this fight. We'll see how the French players do their stuff. How they're gonna do this. Like I said, I'm concerned this French player is not pushing up fast enough, which can be disastrous for their 2 allies. Although France over here is sticking well together, so... reinforcements, though, for the Ottomans are over here. What do they got here? Line infantry. They don't got a lot of line infantry, actually. They got skirms, and they got a lot of cav. They got artillery supporting. And the bigger army is actually pushing up down this road. And gonna marching right behind. And with no scouting available, no one's gonna even know this Ottoman army is coming in behind them. So right now, France is going to do their best to use their weight. Artillery advantage to kind of even the odds here. What the Ottomans are going to have to do is they're just going to have to... Oh, there's an LSC they took. They just got to inflict as many losses as possible. Oh, we have a cav charge, possibly? Yes, we do. Smacking into a lot of... Oh, no. Well... Charging into a lot of line infantry here, but they're going to get charged by some French cav. However, it may just be baiting them in So you can see if they charge in, then yeah, they're just gonna try to use their masses. Oh, they're gonna charge the flanking. Oh, so maybe a little friendly fire. Yeah, a little friendly. What? Who has been slain? Oh, combat gen. Horse artillery firing at the flank of the French. They're probably trying to focus down their heavy dragoons. But over here you can see that the French are definitely making a dent in the Ottoman line. Can history be reworked? Can the Ottomans take the field of battle? Definitely not looking too good at this point for the Ottomans. Oh no, their skirmishers getting charged too. France is getting very aggressive here. This infantry is going to shoot its own cav. That's not going to hold. And they took that building already. This huge flanking force, though, guys, should help here. France is still looking pretty good. I mean, you can see they are breaking a lot of Ottoman troops. So maybe it is even, you know, 3v4. They said they've taken this LOC. Now they are going to be firing. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. Look at these guys. They're gonna start pouring in some fire here. More dudes with the capes. I love the uniforms here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Had a little thing come up. So we're back. And, once again, the French are still pushing here. I'm probably repeating myself. But this is a beautiful French flank here that we have. We have some possibly genius. No, not genius areas. I was looking for the Grens. Maybe there's some heavy Grens here. But all of this infantry, guys, is just steamrolling their way over here using this road.
Our men are running, sir.
Can they get here before the French destroy this flank? But although, oh my goodness, look at this horse artillery. They got themselves out of there. So good. Oh, we have more French cavalry massing up on the rear. They keep getting repelled, but this is definitely not a very easy fight for the French. They just keep getting outnumbered. We have some lancers charging in against these Mamelukes. In fact, we have a massive push of Ottoman cavalry here. Even some light infantry. You see there's a flank over here. They're smacking into these troops. They keep losing, though. It's only a matter of time, I feel like, until they start breaking the French cav. But France is playing very well for being so heavily outnumbered. Artillery, though, is using up a lot of infantry
must rest a while
to keep this artillery safe, and they're moving further and further away from the guns. Skirmishers still on the flank here. Ottomans have fallen back here, using the high ground now, and stretching out the French lines here, guys. So they are forcing them to have a larger and larger front as they push up here. They're going to start running out of space, out of infantry to be able to hold. And the Ottomans have another fresh army, as well as another army behind that one. So I don't know if France is going to be pushing up here, but hopefully they will, because France needs it. You can see France actually may be falling back. They are not going to have a lot. They have a couple reserves, but not a ton of them left, guys. Not a lot of reserves left. They actually are having some morale problems here. They're getting shot to pieces here. And now they're in a standing line fight with the Ottomans.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Yes, I'm sure they must. This actually may be a point to focus. Look at this gap in the lines. They have their sappers kind of in reserve, but there is not a lot of troops right here. So because they are trying to form up, the Ottomans could start flanking around one side or the other and really start wearing down the French. Still nothing over here. Oh no, the French are pushing. They are pushing, but there's nothing facing them, so they got a long trek ahead of them in order to make it. There it is. So you have Napoleon over here. You have Kleber fighting against the Ottomans in a semicircle. Not too encouraging. They're running out of ammunition. They'll get tired. And historically, he was hoping, you know, to be able to fall back in the night. But yeah, he never even had to make it to the night, thankfully. I mean, he did send a letter actually to Napoleon to say, hey, I'm going to attack the Ottomans. He didn't wait for a response from the Ottomans or from Napoleon. He just kept marching.
Our men are running, sir.
These skirmish cav got charged by what looks like some chasseurs chevaliers, hussars of France, and actually they aren't doing too hot. They're gonna have to fall back. The general looks like he's out. A square has been formed though. It's gonna catch the Ottoman cav as they try falling back. Getting countercharged by some more French cavalry as well here. More Ottomans getting routed here. Just the skirmishers. No, I think it's this artillery is really helpful. You see, yeah, it's focusing on this flank, trying to protect the flank of France. And the center seems like it has the best opportunity for the Ottomans on this side. And this front looks really good. Yeah, they look like they are not going to face... This may be a sandwich within a sandwich. Because, I mean, the French look like they're getting sandwiched between the Ottomans. But now the French seem to be pushing up. I'm just going to call this Napoleon, even though it probably isn't Napoleon. It looks like France, Italy. But for historical purposes, Napoleon's pushing up here. And gonna try to squeeze the life out of the Ottomans. The Ottomans are going to have to get very aggressive here with this French army if they want to squash them, which it's going to be a tough nut to crack, for sure. These look like Janissaries. There's some irregulars. We have a bayonet charge. So France is wanting to break this line as quickly as possible.
Our men are running, sir.
And they are doing it. They did manage to form square. I'm impressed. Even sent some dragoons in to support this fight against these Mamelukes. They should form back across this river. They have artillery still. Uh-oh. Starting to break on this side. Even these skirmishers are starting to break here. This has not been very easy for the Ottomans. At all. They have no real heavies or even dragoons. It's mostly lights. And France is steadily advancing.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
They did kill a general. Whose general was this? I think it was a combat gen, maybe, for the Ottomans. Well, they have established themselves around these buildings, holding... Yeah, their sappers holding... the mountain. Imagine the fight raging around this mountain instead. That could be cool. An uphill assault. You know. But France has beaten back this flank, which means they're gonna be able to react and shift over this direction. My goodness, actually, that is saving them. There are a couple Ottomans and artillery, of course, as well. Looks like they're actually moving their artillery. This would be a chance for the Mamelukes to actually inflict some damage here with their artillery and with their cav. Charge in. There's only a couple cav units defending it. And you see France is having some problems here. This cav getting shot. Standing right behind the lines. Yeah. They're going to want to fall him back. You don't want to lose your cav. It is a thin line still. Reinforcements, though, are coming. Now, I'm surprised that they're shifting over all their troops to this side. They should leave one or two because this is going to happen. You're going to have the Ottomans start to flow back over to this side. And you have to defend your rear. Is this melee capable? Or, gosh, why do I keep saying that? Is this range capable? They are forcing him into a square, though. And now they're going to start pushing up here. So, yeah, they're doing the right things to try to combat the French. Oh, yeah, this is ranged. And they are shooting. Dang. They just slaughtered a ton of infantry. I think this is a light infantry unit, too. Ooh, that artillery is focusing down the back of the French. I think the French are in a very, very dire state here. Maybe this reinforcing army can save them. They really could use it right now. I don't know if they're gonna. I think Francis want to form a square again. But they are, oh no, mass routing here, so France is putting up their reserves. Yeah, fall back, use this LOC to control this flank. Like, fall back to here, then have some units on this side. You don't need to hold this LOC, or in front of the LOC, you just need to hold around it. Artillery has shifted over here, a lot of Cavs still massing up for the Ottomans. Just Lancers after Lancer after Lancer. It's like Naurod. And the Ottomans are advancing once again. The circle is ever squeezing tighter around this French army. Artillery just shelling them. Oh, do we have some units that may try to go for the square? Or no, for the square, the LOC. You can't tell, it's my first day off of work, and my brain is still operating on half function here. Okay, so there's a delaying force for France, using the artillery as well. We have light infantry that charged in here. These sappers charged in. These guys whipped out their swords. They're gonna break these French. Oh, a Cav charge also to support these sappers, but they changed their mind. I think France is gonna. I don't think France is gonna make it in time. They are in a fight over here. They gotta make some real fast plays here, because this side is crumbling for the French. Cav charging in as well. These are, I believe, are the Dragoons trying to hold a thin line. Oh, they formed square just in time and broke more of the French cavalry here. So they are starting to tell. All this action is starting to tell on the French. They can't they can't hold forever, but they can try. Ever shrinking, ever smaller. This is what happened if the French didn't get reinforcements. If Napoleon didn't show up, you know, cause mass hysteria in the back of the Ottoman line. Okay, so they're gonna go for more Cav here. Artillery still firing, still trying to save. I mean, props to the French for trying. I mean, this looks very desperate and very bad. But they are trying their best. Ottomans are doing a bayonet charge in the center here, counter-charging. Look at all the flash. Oh my gosh. More troops charging up. They're trying to, they feel like the French are about to break. They are charging in here. And Cav is now seconding this. And the French center is collapsing. I mean, there's just now a few desperate troops here and there who are forming square.
We've killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
These guys are forming square here in the center. They don't know what else to do. Mamluk Cav is everywhere. Oh, there's Cav everywhere. Okay, so France is basically gone. There's one brave square. Oh my gosh. There's one brave square in the middle of a Mamluk army. Look at this. They still... They're literally surrounded. Alright, so France is gone, so it's just one French army who now is going to fall back. So I may have to skip back to where the fighting happens, because I'm assuming they're just going to fall all the way back to a hill. Or for historical purposes, you know, Napoleon retreats. There's the LC being held way over here, but oh my gosh. France held bravely for a very long time, but I mean, it was a 4v2 or 3v2, one or the other. So we're gonna skip ahead, guys, when the actually catch up with the French army. Oh, we may actually have a vicious rear guard pushing back the advance of the Ottomans. Yeah, so France, I don't think it's gonna keep falling back, thankfully. So France definitely has a lot of cav and infantry. Oh, there's a Mamluk cav. Yeah, so at least France isn't doing, you know, what sometimes happens, which is they just fall all the way back and delay the inevitable, and, you know, they're gonna hold a brave face and probably just want their artillery set up in a good position. They're gonna try and inflict as many losses as possible on the Ottomans. What is this? We got some lights chasing down some Mamluks. Some C7s versus something else, I don't know. It's actually not even that many Ottomans pushing up right now. Uh-oh, this artillery is definitely defenseless. Oh yeah, they're defenseless. And the Ottomans are taking full advantage of the fact that the French ran all their cav out. And, oh, they almost fired again. They came so close to firing. There's other artillery that needs to be defended. Over here, it does look like the French are trying their best to just chase down, I mean, the Ottoman cav, but the Ottoman cav is just so much faster. So it's not going to matter. They're going to run their troops around and just get destroyed here. While their army has no cav at all and just picks off their guns one by one. At least they got one more shot off before they died, I guess. I mean, you can see France is breaking some of the Ottomans here, but I mean, they're gonna get surrounded now. And look at this, they're just getting shot to pieces on both sides here, but they're gonna clash. They're probably tired, if not exhausted, if I were to guess. And yeah, they broke them just because probably their morale is just crap. With the actual line fight, France is holding for now. They have no artillery, so this battle, like I said, it's just an inevitable at this point. This was a very cool battle, though. Historically, not accurate. Obviously, the French should have won. I think if France had one more army, then it would have been a win for them. But they, you know, simulating this army, I think, was too delayed. They should have gone this direction with the rest of them. They should have stuck together. Maybe the other army should have held the hill and not pushed out so much. They pushed out into this valley where the Ottoman cav just was able to just surround and isolate them. Coming behind them, they'd have a hill to their back or trees to their back to be able to help at least somewhat. France cav gone. I think the LLC is being assaulted here. And yeah, we got a general movement of the Mamluks here. Countercharge. Dang, they broke them fast. Now they're gonna get themselves out of there. They get a flanking fire, but they are about to get outflanked. In return, how the turntables have turned. Ottomans chasing them down. It's like the Zulu Wars, you know, the UK just getting totally outnumbered constantly by the Zulus, and, you know, it didn't matter. They didn't have enough firepower at that point to be able to actually... They needed a bigger standing army to deal with how many thousands of Zulus showed up. Alright, let's fast forward here. We only got 36 minutes remaining here. The Ottomans are going to keep pushing. We do have a brave rear guard here. Gonna try to hold. We have Cav charging out. And France is falling back here. They are losing troop after troop. They honestly would inflict a lot more if they just stood in a line and fought for just a little bit. But you can see they are forcing these guys to not be able to square just because of... They're trying to get away from the infantry, but then you square and you keep delaying yourself. So
Our men are running, sir.
the Ottomans are using their cav to basically stop the French army in its tracks. Another unit is going to be disintegrated by the Ottomans. Oh, they didn't form square this time. Oh, yes, they did, actually.
Our men are running, sir.
More cav get broken, but they're once again delaying them. I think they're trying to stop them from getting over to this river, which seems to be where France seems to be running at this point. They did take that LOC. Good for them. They took another LOC. Good for them. There's something in the way back that's being held. I'm surprised they're not trying to just get themselves out of there. We have 5 French units left. If I was France, I would just do a mass bayonet charge, you know? You're just losing unit one after the other. It's better to go out in flames than to go out, you know, scattered one after the other. This is, however, how you deal with a square. Imagine this is the end of a line. You push cav up and then line infantry with it to force them into a square, and then you charge the square. It's a foolproof plan. Works every time, 100% of the time. You bayonet charge it, they're gonna break. And, yep, Bob's your uncle. So, like I said, I don't know how long it'll take to take that LOC, but France is basically gone here. Oh, this is one of the more elite units. Look, they even got a dude with like one of those 2 feet tall hats. But I think it's the last one. And then we'll skip to the end to see the end results of this game here, because I'm kind of curious how the French, how many losses they had to inflict some losses on the French, you know? I mean, or on the Ottomans, sorry. The French had to have inflicted some losses there. That could not have been a very easy battle at first for the Ottomans. So, yeah, we'll go from there, and I'll catch you guys once we see this unit break. I'll catch you guys at the end stats. Alright guys, so that was the Battle of Mount Thabor. And you can see the tree. Yeah, so it was the Bonaparte, but man, the losses inflicted and enemy killed, you can see definitely a victory for the Ottomans. Not historical, but you know, it's kind of cool to watch history recreated and see what could be changed. This cav that was shooting did really well, obviously. My goodness, they got 4 chevrons. So, alright, that is about it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.